Bluesboyjag here with yet another 4-string cigar box guitar lesson by request. It's Who Do You Love by the great Diddley. We're tuned to open G, so this is an A string tuned down to G, and a D string tuned normal to D, a G string tuned normal to G, and a B string tuned normal to B. I've got some tremolo and some reverb on my amp, and I'm pumping this one through the Roland Microcube. Alright, so there's a lot of different ways you can play this song. We're going to start out the easy way. I'm playing the 12th fret, which is your G chord, and I'm using my first finger to bar all the way across, and I'm using my first finger 2 frets below that. So I'm basically going to be barring on that 12th fret, which is a G chord, and then 2 frets below that on the 10th, which is an F chord. Now, for those of you who haven't done this kind of funky strum, what I'm doing here is pressing down, and then to get that clicking sound, I'm not pressing down on the fretboard. Now you can see my pinky kind of jumping around. That indicates that I'm squeezing my finger down onto the fretboard. My pinky just does that by itself, so. So that's basically your funky strum. And I'm just pressing down if I want to hear the chord, and I'm not pressing down on any of the strings to hear that clicking percussive sound. Now, the trick here is you want to be pressing down with this finger and then lifting up periodically. So when you want to hear the chord, you press down. As far as the strum, it's just a straight down, up, down, up. So get your right hand going first, and you want to mute all the strings, and do this for a few seconds. Just get it real smooth. Now I'm going to change my left hand, and I'm going to press down when I want to hear the chord. And I'm going to do it, let's just say 4 beats in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you hear that chord, that means I'm pressing down the strings. When you don't hear that chord, I'm muting the strings. You do hear just a little bit of that G note because I'm on the 12th fret. So you do hear that note, which is the harmonic. So just start out like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And when you hear the chord, that's the G chord on the 12th fret, that means I'm pressing down my fingers. I've got my thumb coming around the back here, so I can squeeze the strings down when I want to hear that chord. All I'm doing on the right hand is down, up, down, up, down, up. Now I'm moving down to my first finger, which is going to be on the 10th fret. Keep in mind, my right hand is doing the same thing, down, up, down, up, down, up, all the way through. So in a lot of ways, the trick is all in your left hand. And you can still see my pinky moving down like this, which I can't stop that from happening. It's just involuntary movement. And that shows you where I'm pressing down on these strings with that hand. So I've got my 3rd finger on the 12th, first finger on the 10th. 12th, 10, 12, 10, 12, 12, 10, 12, 12, 12, 12, 10, 12. Again, this hand just doing down, up the whole way. There's just a million ways you can do this. Now real slow. The trick is I'm pressing down with this hand periodically when you hear that chord, and I'm unpressing instantly after that. I'm barely pressing down. So this takes a little bit of practice, just like anything. Now here's another way to do the same thing. G chord, F chord. I'm playing the open strings instead of the 12th fret. It's the exact same chords, just a different pitch. So this is the high G up here, and then that's your F, and back to G. So now I'm going to do the G, no fingers at all, but I'm still going to do that F up here. Now the trick here, get that right hand going, nice and steady. Then you're going to press down here periodically to get that funky rhythm. So it takes some coordination, obviously, between the two hands. Start out slow. How about slower than that, Jag? It's kind of hard to tell. Sure, no problem. That's my third finger barring, and I'm lifting the pressure off the strings to choke the chord. This hand is going down, up, down, up, down, up through the whole thing. Just like that. All the rest of it is that hand because I'm pressing down to hit the chord and I'm lifting up over here to kill the chord. So, what chords are these? Okay, one more time. G, F, G. Now, I'm going to alternate with the open G, which is no fingers whatsoever, but I'm still going to use this one up here for the F. Now, if you notice, I'm choking that chord off and on. Real slow. Right there, I'm just playing that 12th fret with no muting at all. Does take a lot of practice and coordination with this hand. So, real slow. All I'm doing there is sliding down while I'm pressing down. Another thing you can do is use your first finger on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. And you can kind of jump around between the strings. One one finger, one string at a time. Here's the first string and the second string. I'm choking with this hand, which is a little bit tricky. So how do I do that? These fingers are flopping around everywhere. It does take practice, but this will allow you to do a whole bunch of really cool songs, not just this type of a rhythm, but this really helps all your guitar playing if you can choke with that hand as well as this hand, the fretting hand as well as the strumming hand. So one thing I like to do is jump around with my first finger to fret only one string. These other fingers are muting. So these are just bouncing around, muting, and the first finger is the only finger fretting. So this is where you can really jam out on this sort of thing. So real slow. Notice how that first finger is fretting, and these fingers are killing the note, or the chord, as soon as I play it. I use this in virtually every single song I play. Because the guitar is tuned to open chord, and if you want to choke it, that's the only way you can. See, my fingers bouncing all over the place. My first finger is moving around and fretting only one note. These other fingers are simply muting. So I'm going to go from the first string, second, third, and fourth. Muting with that hand. Fretting with the first finger, muting with these fingers. Now, one more thing. I'm going to slow way down and let you see up close. The muting process here. I'm moving my first finger from the first string to the second to the third to the fourth. And I'm on the third fret. Strumming all the strings and muting with these fingers. I'm fretting with the first, and I'm muting with these. This is a little bit tricky, like I said a minute ago. These fingers are kind of flopping around, and those are the ones that are doing the muting. Notice real close, you see these fingers bouncing around. I lift up when I want to hear those strings, and I let down when I don't want to hear them. Another thing I like to do is slide up. Here's the fourth string sliding up. sliding from 3 to 5. First finger, first string. Second string. Third string. Fourth string. So have fun with that. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out my website, jagshouse.com. Cigar box guitars, just like this one for 20 years. We'll see you next time.